Hey guys, girls, how are we? Been a while since I've done a video. Got this girl here just come in, complaining the deck's not cutting well. The blade's no good, it's probably why. Also, there's bearings gone, if you can see the top pulley there. I don't know if you can, up there. So we're going up and down, the bearings in the spindle are no good. So I'll take the deck off, pull them apart, and we'll change the bearings in the spindle and put new blades on it. A couple of ways you can take these decks off. I use those bolts down there. The reason I take those off is because they come loose and they wear out. So, two birds with one stone, I'll undo those deck bolts there. There's two on the other side and let it drop away, take the belt off. And there's the other two. Dunk, dunk. We'll have a look. Righto, deck's off. Just got it sitting up on a couple of horses. Just going to undo this nut. There's a tang on there, as you can see. It's a 30mm soft. I'm just going to rattle that off with. Pull that off. We've got a spindle underneath there. It's where the bearings have collapsed or something's worn out. A lot of wear in it. His belt was coming off. As you can see, the belt was running underneath that keeper. Needs to be in between in the belt groove. Don't know why that happened. Does look like someone's been mucking with it, so I'll do that. Fix that up, pull that pulley back, and take that pulley off. And we'll have a look at the bearings in the centre spindle. Righto. So I've knocked the nut off the top of the spindle. As you can see, wire wrapped around. Out come all the ball bearings. That's the top. No bearing left. It's run over a bit of fencing wire. It's gone up through the seal and the bearing. Whammo. There's the inner part of the bearing there still, the race. So, get myself some new bearings, pull those off, back together. I didn't mention either, that's left-handed thread. Don't fuck it up. Righto, just about to do some assembly. As you can see, this bearing saver, is what I'm pretty well sure they're called, is elongated. So the bearing's been no good. That's been flogging around in there like a you-know-what up a sock. So I'm going to put that on, get it as straight as I can, and in the centre as well, as good as possible. Same as your spacer washer. It's also elongated. Put it in the guts. I'm going to tack it to the seal saver, bearing saver, and then tack it to the plate. Then I'll put the bearings together in the spindle hub, which I've got. I'll put them all back together. Righto. So here's our spindle hub. We'll put some bearings in. Sometimes when I get a bearing, so I've never used this brand, made in India. What we do, what I do sometimes, I have had a case where If it's a plastic seal just like that, you just get a thin scribe or a screwdriver without damaging it. Pop it open. And check the amount of grease that's in it. I don't know if you can see that. Fuck all grease down the bottom there. It'll be sufficient obviously, but just have a bit more in there. Very rare, but I have had an occasion where there's insufficient grease in a new bearing. Wasn't that brand though. You just use a bit of grease also to help the bearing slide into place. I'll never see. Whatever turns you on. Just give it a light tap in. You can feel it's home. Other side, don't forget your spacer. Put some grease in it, so the shaft will come up through that. Same thing again. Control press. Six 204s, common size. Oops. Move around there. Lube makes the world go round. Bearing on the centre race. Socket of roll. You pull that home. There we are. Some new bearings. Ready to go in. So I'll put that in the top of the deck. Spindle up, the shaft up through it. Where we go. Alright guys, that's a wrap for that. Hope it helps someone out. She's all back together. Just remember that's left-handed thread. It's got a lock and washers on it. Just push the tings up. Sometimes it'll be a bit tight. You just back them back a bit. That's pretty good. Just give your slides a bit of a lube up too. Alright, like and share, comment, send us a message. A lot of people send me messages. Helps me out. Hopefully that'll help someone out. Till next time, cheerio.